So I have a little story behind these poems. As you might know, I served 26 years. I got locked up when I was 16 in 1995. I've been out 2 years now. But I was sentenced to life, and for most of those years, I thought I would never get out. So I taught myself the law to fight my case, appeal my sentence. And once all my appeals were denied after about 8 years, I said, well, I guess the next step is to try to escape. And I tried. So I spent a long time trying to do it. I put a lot of effort into it, and I failed. And I ended up in segregation. I did end up, they don't tell you how long you're going to do. You don't know how long you're going to do. So ended up being 6 years. And I still wanted to escape. But I kind of, over time, I realized, you know, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to be the rest of my life. And I kind of had to deal with that and come to terms with it. So a few years after that, about 6 years after I finally got out of segregation, I was able to work my way back down to the security levels, and I was able to get in a dog training program, one of the first in Michigan. This was in 2014, at Alger Correctional Facility in ED. So I was in this dog program, and one of the main reasons I wanted to get in it was to work my way down and increase the chances that I would ever be released. But when I started training these dogs, so you had a dog in your cell with you, it was your dog. They were shelter dogs, so these dogs would be euthanized if you didn't train them to be adopted by the citizens who wanted to adopt them. And it was amazing training these dogs. You know, I went in when I was 16, so you don't have touch. As everybody knows, like the only time you get to touch anybody in there is at the beginning and end of a visit. You get to hug. And when you take a picture in a visit, you get to put your arm around your loved one and you hold their hands during a visit. So being able to pet these dogs and just have that type of companionship, it was so fulfilling. And I started to really come to terms with being in there and being able to see the beauty that I could find in life in these harsh circumstances. And I'm a runner, so I would take this dog out and run it around the yard in the morning. And one morning I saw a sunrise, and I was saw through the fence, obviously, and I said, you know, I want to try to paint this. I had started watercolor painting, and I had seen paintings similar to that, like prison scenes that you see at this gallery that guys did, who submitted it here. And I said, I want to make a painting like that, and I'm going to submit it to PCAP. I never submitted a painting to PCAP before, but I had been submitting my poetry. And so I made this watercolor painting. And this was right around the time that somebody escaped from Ionia. And right after that, I had the painting in my cell. I was waiting for PCAP people to come up to give it to them. And these officers stood on my cell and found this painting. And so I had an escape history, and the painting was of a sunrise as seen through the fence. So I had a fence in the painting, and they said, well, this guy I tried to escape, this other guy tried to escape. Maybe he's drawn a picture of the fence to try to escape. They sent me back to segregation for that. And the painting itself is actually a state secret. It's locked in the Ingham County Courthouse, and you cannot go see it unless you're a judge or a lawyer on the case, because it's technically escape material. They don't want people to know. They tried to say it was like it depicted the fence. It was a painting. So I recreated this painting a few months ago. That's basically what the painting was. So, I mean, it's pretty generic, right? And that's me holding the painting. So, I gave that to Pete Martell because he came down here to PCAP and he gathered a bunch of paintings that people had done that were similar to that, and he sent them to the MDOC, and we won the rehearing. They granted a rehearing on it. The hearing officer found that it was still escape material, but he put in the hearing report that I wasn't trying to escape, so I was able to get out of SEG after about 6 months.
Yeah.
But In that time, in that 6 months before I knew if I would get a rehearing, before I would get out, and I still did another year in 05 and had to work my way down again, I wrote a few poems about that experience. And it's my girlfriend's phone because she's using my phone for this. I don't normally carry around a pink phone.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with pink phone.
Yeah.
That's true. No, that's fine. So here's the first poem. It's called Down Again. Down, down again. Those four white walls unchanged. The hopelessness I thought I'd lost, I fear I may regain. A decade since I stormed the gate and paced enboxed 2,000 days, 2,000 dark and hopeless days. Till thinking deep, I learned to see, to feel, to be, too sane. And so the transformation came, unboxed. I now accepted fate, unfeared. I then forsook escape. And walking on the yard one day, I saw the sunrise through the haze. Such beauty that I had to paint. The color, hope, the fence, the pain. But others only saw one thing, a non-existent open gate. For this, for this, for this, recaged. For this, down, down again. In white, reboxed, I pace. So this is the second one about that same subject. It's called The Black Sky Bled. I ran until the black sky bled, cobalt, royal, pale, pale red. Above the stark white snow expanse, far beyond the cold gray fence, that could not keep the color back, that for its sublime beauty wept. Whose fingers danced with brushes kept, dripping, splashing, washing, living, traded for this black-white drab. Unwisely now I learn with dread, running from the closing black, the color's gone, the sky is dead.